Hi, welcome to the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry, and on Instagram, I'm Mel-Tran Designs. Today is Friday, January 12th, 2018. I hope you all are enjoying your new year that we have, and that you're already being productive and that you're not freezing too much. It's been a little while since I recorded. I think 2 weeks now. It's been a little difficult with having the kids on break. So anyway, I'm here now. Yay! We're together again. My kids actually have a 3-week long Christmas break, and so they won't be going back to school until Tuesday of next week because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday. So yeah, we will be back to our normal schedule starting now as far as recording goes, and then in my life starting on Tuesday. But anyway, I hope you're doing well, and I have some things to show you and some stuff to tell you about. So grab something to keep your hands busy, some pretty yarn, and whatever choice of needle or hook you have, and let's get started. In the last couple weeks, we've still been nice and busy, as always. We went to visit my sister in Pocatello, which is the other side of the state. Earlier this week, we went Sunday through Wednesday, and that's always a lot of fun, getting to go hang out with her and get out of the house for a little while. On Sunday when we got there, it was decent. Like, our weather's been weird. Last year we had, Snowmageddon, and this year it's like in the 40s during the day. I mean, it's so weird. The ski resort barely has enough snow to be open. They actually canceled races for tomorrow. It was supposed to be the girls' first race of the season, and they canceled it because it's just not enough snow, not good enough snow. Anyway, so when we got to Cheryl's house, we went to the park in January. So weird. I mean, it was windy, so it was cold. We weren't there for very long, but still got out of the house. And, after driving for 3 hours, it was nice for the kids to be able to run around. And yeah, that's mostly what we did Sunday, and just went back to her house and hung out. She found these, the red Solo cups. She found all these different games you can do with them, and so she bought a bunch, and we were doing all sorts of random, cup stacking, and I mean, just all sorts of fun stuff that night. And then Monday, we didn't do anything during the day. But then Monday night, the roller skating rink over there was open, and so we did that for the 4-hour session that they have. So much fun. Oh my gosh. I was sore the next day. I was sore that night, actually, already. Yeah, we just had so much fun, and we were actually the last ones out on the rink when they closed, and they always do the cha-cha slide at the end of the night. And so we ran out there to do it, and it was just our family. It was just the 7 of us out there doing the cha-cha slide. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Yeah, anyway, Quinn was having a blast. So there was that. And Tuesday, we didn't go do anything. I'm trying to think, but we played a lot of games and just kind of, hung out and spent time together. And then Wednesday, we ate breakfast and hung out for a little bit and packed up and headed home, and came back in time to get Eli to Scouts, and Anansi had a volleyball game. Jeez, I have volleyball on the brain. Basketball game, because she has been cleared to play, so she's back playing, and they got slaughtered, but it was okay because she did fantastic. She was playing really well and really hard, and it was so nice to see because leading up to when she had to stop playing for a while, she was very guarded, you know, and wasn't able to just go all out because she was hurting, and now she's not hurting. She doesn't even have to wear her knee brace. So our chiropractor treatments, our new chiropractor treatments, and those 3 weeks off really made a difference. So then yesterday, I didn't go to the, it was an away game that they had and they won, and the varsity coach actually commented to her that she'd never seen her play so hard, or so well. She said, "This is the best I've ever seen you play." So anyway, it's being noticed, and that's really cool. And on another note, to totally brag on Anansi even more, she has struggled with school in the past. I mean, all the way up. She just, reading comprehension really was her hardest thing, and she just has been a solid B's and C's student. And we got her report card in the mail a couple days ago, and this is her first semester in high school, and she got all A's and B's, you guys. Oh. And not just in any school. Their charter school is hard. You know, they are ahead of the other schools for their grade. So that's a big deal. And it's like all of a sudden everything in her life is just clicking, and it's so cool to see as a parent. So yeah, that wasn't even on my list, but I remembered. So anyway. Other stuff to talk about. So you can't see behind you and around you here, but this is my desk that has been covered in stuff ever since we put it in here, pretty much. I sat at it like one time, and then it promptly got covered in things. You can't tell because I won't show you. This is my room. There's just kind of stuff everywhere still. We never finished this room after doing the house. We never finished like putting everything away and all of that. And that's a random shirt that I changed out of right before I started recording. I looked sick with it on. It like flushed my face out, and I was like, I gotta change really fast. And then I looked over in the corner and I was like, oh look, I left it on the bed. Anyway, the room is just full of stuff still. I need to figure out how I want to do my business stuff that's sitting right here. Yeah, just random things that, anyway, need to be taken care of. But yesterday I was like, I want my desk. So I cleaned it all off and put everything on the bed, and only put the stuff on that I wanted, and then the bed was still covered in stuff, and I slowly just kind of figured out where to put everything. And then last night for us to go to bed, I piled up the last few, I don't know if this happens to you guys. When I get to the point where there's just all these little things, I just go, yeah, it's so much. Even though it's not really, it's just that it doesn't always necessarily have a place. Does that, maybe it's just me. So I stacked it nicely and put it up on the table, and I was like, okay, I'll just work my way through the stack tomorrow. And like I said, none of it was big, but it was just spread out and just, Anyway, that's the story of my life with trying to finish with this house. There's just those little things that I don't want to get rid of because they're useful and will be used regularly. I just don't know exactly where to put them. Anyway, I'm glad to have my desk. Figuring out the lighting still. I'll be working on it, working through it, you know, trying to figure some stuff out. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. Hopefully you can see okay. If you can't, please let me know. If you can't, either way, let me know. Sorry, I'm so overdue for a haircut. I was supposed to go in Monday, and then, and then couldn't for some reason. No, I was supposed to go in Thursday. I don't remember. No, I was supposed to go in last week on Friday. And then I couldn't. And then I thought she scheduled me for Saturday, but there was a miscommunication. She scheduled me for this Saturday. And I already had pushed it out like 5 weeks instead of my normal 4 weeks, and now it's 6 weeks, and I just want to shave my head. Seriously, I'm just at the point. I told her, I was like, I'm just going to shave my head. Just, anyway. So then I was supposed to go Saturday. Well, last night I had my calendar out, and I'm writing down Eli's basketball games because he has started basketball. It's just a month-long thing. Do you remember how Kyan did that for volleyball? It was just 4 weeks. He's doing that for basketball. My appointment's at 11:30. It will take until about 1 because it's a cut and color. Yeah, his game is at 12:30. I mean, why wouldn't it? So I messaged my hairdresser last night, hairstylist, I don't know, cosmetologist, whatever you want to call her, and was like, hey, so we need to reschedule again. So now it's Monday at 11. And I was just like, I'm going to shave it. I'm just going to shave it all. Just going to get out the clippers. Shave it all off. Anyway, not that you cared, but it just, there's a reason I get it cut on a regular basis. Sorry, the lighting is doing these weird things. Maybe it's because I keep moving. I'll just sit right like this. Anyway, all right. I'm marking stuff off. I have notes today because there was stuff I had to talk about. The other thing on my list is there is going to be some more volleyball reffing coming up in the very near future for me, which is awesome. There is club volleyball that practices have already started, and games/tournaments. Every week is a tournament. It's just a set of games every Saturday. Starts on February 3rd. I'm really excited to get back into it. I had kind of a end to my reffing at the end of this last year because I got hurt and had to stop reffing the City League games because I couldn't stand for the 2 hours that were required. I couldn't just stand on the podium. So now I'm at least healed up enough that I can do that. It's going to be interesting because these are like full days of games. So we shall see. The first 3 weeks, there's kind of some conflicts because Eli is still going to be playing his games and whatnot. But luckily, I can tell them, hey, this is when I'm occupied. I have all this other time, so hopefully I can at least get 2 or 3 games in. They pay really well. If you guys are ever interested in just like picking up a spare job, look into reffing. Volleyball is pretty easy to learn, and the lady who I rode over with to the meeting last night, she's been reffing for 8 years now. She didn't know anything about volleyball when she started. They just needed some extra money, and her friend told her about it, and she learned about it and started reffing. So anyways, just wanted to throw that plug in. I know most of you don't live in Idaho, but everywhere needs refs. So anyway, it is not a volunteer position. It is a very well paid position, at least here. And Idaho has pretty crummy pay overall. So anyway, there you go. My little plug. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about before getting into the knitting is my retreat. Another plug for Fiber Fanatics Unite 2018. It is now 2018. So let's all unite as Fiber Fanatics. Huh? See what I did there? Alright, anyway. Moving on. Please come. If you've been wondering or thinking or wanting to maybe come. It's so much fun and it's so affordable and we just have a blast. I had a few people jump in on January 1st and yeah, it is not full. There's still plenty of space. If you are going to be flying in, there are plenty of people who can pick you up at the airport and get you down to the retreat. Yeah, just come. It's $225 for 4 days and 3 nights. Pretty much all your food is included, except for Friday and Saturday night, you sign up to bring something for the potluck. And if you fly in, we just stop at the store. Or you could shoot me a little bit of money and say, hey, pick up blah, 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 you know, thing of macaroni salad for a side dish for one night or whatever, and I can do that for you when I'm shopping for the retreat food. I mean, you're not going to find a better price for the length of time, and considering it's essentially all-inclusive minus you bringing a portion of one meal. Just saying. We do have classes that we offer that are completely free. We have a market day. I mean, come on. You just got to come. You just got to come and have fun. So anyway, if you have questions, shoot me an email, fiberfanatics.unite@gmail.com. Jump on the Fiber Fanatics Unite Ravelry group. There's also Fiber Fanatics Unite Retreat. I have to have the word retreat in there. Group on Facebook. So anyways, please come. It will be fun. I know I keep saying fun. It will be fun. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun. All right, on to the knitting. I do have 2 projects to show you that are actively on the needles right now. So if you guys watch the 90% Knitting podcast, Lisa, if you're not, you should be, because she's awesome, and that's not just because we're friends. She's doing a customer rewards program this year, and I'm not going to go into the details, but let's just say that you can't quite see it in my cubbies over there. It's the 4th cubby over. I emptied it out and put my Fiber Nymph Dyeworks yarn right there because essentially, for like really summing it up, for every 100 grams of her yarn or fiber you use up, you get 20 grams of credit towards free stuff. So you all will be seeing a lot of Fiber Nymph Dyeworks yarn passing across your screen here. In fact, one of my finished objects is from her yarn, and my current whip is her yarn. So this is her, let's keep it back here in the better light, gunmetal self-striping. It's really cool. It's not picking up on the screen very well. I know, I will work on the lighting. I need to have a light in this corner of my room. We're working on that as well. Anyway, there is another stripe right here, so it has this this nice lighter blue and a gray, and then this really cool blue gray, and then a light gray, and then it starts over again. What if yeah, I'll just put it up nice and close. Even though it's a little dark, you can see that lighter one right there. This blue gray, oh my gosh, I love it so much. Yeah, I just love this colorway. So anyway, that is just, I started it the other night at a Nonzi's basketball game and worked on it last night while Mella was driving us over to the volleyball meeting. And anyway, that's the thing I love about just plain vanilla socks. I can just pick them up and work on them whenever. So yeah, that's what that, size 1s. On my Knit Picks needles that I've never used and trying out. I don't love the join. You can see how my finger kind of catches. There's that little bit of a catch, and it's not too bad pushing through. It's usually just like the last 1 or 2 stitches where I've kind of pulled snug from the from the other side. So I just kind of take a second and pull them off. It doesn't slow me down too much, so I don't hate them, but it's kind of irritating, but it's more of a minor irritation. So either way, they work and they're getting it done. I have crammed this into quite a small bag. It's probably more of a Notions bag than anything, but it fits. I grabbed it at the Knit on Pearl shop when I was driving through Jackson Hole, I guess a year and a half ago now, on my way home from ZK 2016. So anyway, it's living in there, mostly crammed in that bag so I can fit it in my purse more easily. So, and the only other thing I'm working on, I have resurrected the perpendicular hat that I started all those months ago. I finished section 1, which works this way, and now I'm working across all those stitches. So these rows are pretty long. Excuse me. So yeah, it's The purple, this dark purple is from Huckleberry Knits. It was from a club that I was in a really long time ago. I'm wanting to say, let me see, it was after Sock Summit. That was in 11, so early 2012 or 2013. I'm wanting to say like 2012. So anyway, I don't think you'll be able, well, you can kind of see how it's very tonally variegated. There's even some kind of blues in there. And then I paired it together with some blue yarn from Fiona, who's not dying anymore. She was Solar Flare Fibers. So anyway, I'm enjoying how it's working up. Like I said, it's not working up very quickly because now it's these long rows and it's on small needles, but it's gonna look cool when it's done. That's gonna be for Jake. I don't have excuse me. I don't have the pattern in here. I usually have it close by, but I guess it must, my knitting bag is just right there, so I'm sure it's there. And it's in actually a bag that was gifted to me, and this is Knitting's My Bag. This is pink. Probably can't tell from all the light, but anyway, it's a fun angry ladies knitting. So yeah, it's a fun project bag, nice and big. Let's see, talked about those. All right, we have finished objects. First off, this one has not been blocked yet, or soaked and blocked. It's the Oslo cowl, and this is my first Fiber Nymph Dye Works project of the year, and I used every bit of this, and it had even, because I knitted at one point into a hat and pulled it out because I didn't like how it worked up, and I had cut the skein because it was the end of the hat, but then when I pulled it out I just kind of wound it back in. So anyway, this is just an end I need to clip off. So as you can see, it's rolling terribly. It's mostly, it's pretty much all stockinette based, but once I soak it, it will relax a little. But it's just a nice, textured, kind of a stand-up cowl that'll keep my neck warm since I have short hair. And this is her earthenware red gradient. Her earthenware red is just, come on lighting, there we go, one of my favorite colors that she has. I could have a lot of that. I would like to make a sweater out of that color someday. I think that'd be really cool. But anyway, so yeah, it's just a free pattern. It's, just a background of stockinette, and then you have these 2 rows of a pattern, and that's it. So Oslo, O-S-L-O. I knit it on, this is her mega base bulky yarn. It called for size 8s, which are small for bulky, but you want it kind of not bulletproof, but you want it a little more dense for your neck, so I think that's why they did that. And I actually ran out of yarn a little earlier than what the pattern called to do, but it's still tall enough, so I'm fine. It was just to use up the yarn anyway. I found the pattern and was like, ooh, I could whip this out really quick and get my first 100-gram credit posted in the group. So anyway, set it right there. Next, right after I finished recording last time, I finished these, and they are my Garden of Versailles fingerless gloves, like fingerless gloves. So yeah, I love them. I haven't soaked them, I just started wearing them. So you can see, let's see if, it's going to be a little grainy, sorry about that. You can see that it gradiated through each of the fingers, and I think I told you how I dyed it last time, but I'll tell you again just in case. I had a 2-yard skein, and so I just had it folded like this, and so I took a chunk of it and put it in the dye, and then after however long I took the next chunk that was the same size and put it in, and I did it in four chunks. So a quarter, and so by the end it was lighter, but the others had continued to get darker and darker. But because it was a gradient within the hank like that, That's why at such a small, not a small gauge, I mean it is a small gauge, but at a small circumference, it radiated through. So anyway, I love them and I wear them all the time. I do need to soak them. But anyway, they're a lot of fun. These were knit on size 1s. I made a couple little tweaks, but they were minor. It didn't call for dropping down a needle size on the ribbing down here, but I did because I don't like having big ribbing. So I did size 0s, and then it also has you continue the texture up the front, you know, the front of the hand. I didn't want that texture on this part of my hand, so I just did that in stockinette and kept the texture there. Other than that, other than those couple little things, everything else of the pattern I followed exactly as written. So I don't know who the designer is on that. I don't have the pattern with me. And then next, this is something I whipped up over the course of just a couple hours. Eli, before we were leaving for our little trip to Cheryl's house, he was looking for his other slipper. My grandma, who passed away about a year and a half ago now, she used to make slippers for the entire family every year. She's actually the one that taught me how to knit. And he couldn't find it, and I haven't seen the second. Well, he never wears them. I don't know why he just got this bug that he needed to take them. So I was like, hey, wait a minute. I bought some yarn to make you something a while back, but I didn't know what the something was. I just bought the yarn because I knew he would like it, and it was on sale, essentially. So I whipped him up a quick pair of slippers. These are about the most basic thing you can make. If you're going to make one for an adult, let me tell you my way of counting how to cast it on. If you're making one for an adult, you cast on 9, 1, 9, 1, 9. I know that I could add that up to 29. The reason it's in my head like that is because you knit 9, purl 1, knit 9, purl 1, knit 9. And so when she was teaching me how to cast it on when I was 15, she's like, okay, you do 9, 1, 9, 1, 9. And so that's how I think of casting this on. So but for him, because he has smaller feet, I did 7, 8, 7. And they fit him very well. So you knit one row, and then as you knit across, you knit however many purl one. So you get these ridges here that turn it, and so that makes the edge of the bottom. And then when you go as long as the foot is, you cut your yarn, pull the tail through, and cinch it up really tight like that. Well, you turn it, you know, inside out, cinch it up super tight. I usually pull the yarn through, try to pull the yarn through either one more time or just, cinch like your life depends on it. You want to pull it really hard, and then you just get that all sewn up. You can sew it however you'd like. I didn't do anything fancy. I just pick up essentially one ridge and one ridge, you know, because the garter, I just pick one up and pick up the one next to it and pull, and pick up the one next to it and pull until it's, you know, as long as their foot before the ankle. Tie it off, and then the back you just fold like this, and you're done. I know there are more sound effects than actual instructions in that, but my sister was like, won't that give you a weird corner? I was like, you've been wearing these your whole life. No. And she's like, I have to go look at mine. Okay, right here, this is where I started knitting it, but the way it comes together with the purl ridge, it doesn't give you a weird corner. You'd think it would, but it doesn't. It just tucks right under. So anyway, super basic. You can adjust it to anyone. The way she would make it was 2 strands of red heart held together on size 8s. So tight. So this is bulky yarn. So I just grabbed some, actually I grabbed some 7s because I've loosened up my knitting. So I grabbed some 7s and Yeah, nothing fancy about these, but they keep your feet warm and they're totally machine washable. So there's your free pattern for the day, from my grandma. What she would do for the little kids, especially the girls, is she would put a pom-pom right here. And Quinn really wants some, and I have a whole other skein. This used pretty much a whole skein. There was just this little ball left. Quinn really wants some, so I think I'm going to make her some and put some pom-poms on it. I think it's funny how this side, the colors worked their way through the rainbow, and this side they mixed up. But it was just the way for knitting across how it pooled. So anyway, the yarn that I used is Bernat Softy Chunky. You know, it was from Michael's, and it was like 50% off one day, and I was like, cool, let me grab a couple. I know Eli loves rainbows, so. Anyway, that was a lot of talking for just a simple pair of slippers. The last thing I have, I only have 3 of these really to hold up, and they're kind of boring ones. I found some cotton when I was moving some stuff. Oh. It's kind of buried. I was going to say, let me go back to what I was saying. I bought some yarn on the 1st and was moving some stuff around so I could put it in my cubby, and I think I told you this before. I was working on some dishcloths. Does that sound correct? Familiar? Anyway, I made a ton. I made like 20. I found a bunch of cotton and was like, I don't want this in here anymore. So I just whipped up a whole bunch of these, and these are the only ones I have left because I have given them away at work and to random people. And anyway, I love this stitch pattern. I think on Ravelry it's called the Tricolor Dishcloth or something like that. And obviously I just did it in one in one color, but I like the look of that. And then I had a little bit of orange left, and so I threw that in with some green. So yeah, these are the only ones I have left. All the others I got rid of. Yeah, it's covered. It's yeah, I won't go get it. I'll show it to you as I knit stuff out of it. Not worried about it. Did I show it last time? You're probably yelling at me. Yeah, you showed it to us. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. You'll see it as I knit with it. I'll talk about it then. Anyway, oh, gotta show you this other little crafty thing I did. Look at my fancy little jar. Oh. We buy mustard from some local people, and this jar was left from some that we finished off. And Kyan got a bunch of washi tape for Christmas, and I needed a pen holder, so I was like, hey, can I use some of your washi tape? So look how fancy I am. I know, so crafty. Anyway, alright, this is getting long. It's not even that long, it's half an hour. Alright, dishcloths. I feel like I'm just losing track all over the place. Alright, let's talk designing, shall we? We haven't had much to talk about lately since like April when I designed the shawl for the retreat. What? There we go. A little bit more light. Maybe it won't get so grainy. So I have opened up a collaboration with a yarn dyer, and see, it's getting grainy and not grainy. I'm really sorry. Hopefully it's not bugging you as much as it is me, probably because I'm being really nitpicky about it. We'll get this figured out. Anyway, well, and plus, it's the camera on my laptop, and it's not great, and my other camera is super old, and I just haven't had the money to go buy a new webcam, so an external one. So anyway, we'll make it work. We'll figure it out until then. So anyway, I have had this shawl idea percolating for way too long. Anansi and I actually came up with the idea. I really honestly think she was in 2nd grade. So 7 years ago. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was in 2nd grade. So I've wanted to do, well, this one shawl, and then I was like, wait a minute, I could make a series of shawls out of this idea. So I'm not going to go into all the details yet because I haven't even started knitting it yet because I don't have the yarn, but I am, sorry, I knocked over my pen. It was bugging me. I am working with a yarn dyer who does a lot of gradients, and they have very kindly agreed to support the entire series of 5 shawls that will be coming out this year. The first one will be released March 1st, and like I said, I will talk about it a little more once I have the yarn in my hand and can actually start knitting it. If you are interested in test knitting, I would love to get a set of testers that can do all of them. I understand if you can't, that's kind of a commitment. They're going to be spaced out. My plan is to start an ebook with the first one that people can buy on Ravelry, and then you just get the new patterns as they come out, essentially quarterly. Yeah, March 1st will be the first one, so I will need testers in like February. It's going to be a pie shawl that takes about 150 grams of yarn. The testers would not have to do it in a gradient unless you have a gradient that you want to use up. There will be an overarching theme with them. Like I said, I will tell you about it. I just want to wait until I'm fully working on it. So anyway, that is coming, so stay tuned. I'm really excited about it. I really can't wait. Lastly, I wanted to go over my, oh, okay. My hand covered up the timer, and I was like, no, don't tell me I stopped it somehow. Because the timer's in white, and my hand's pretty white, and so it was just the right angle. That was weird. Anyway, I wanted to talk about my plans and goals for 2018, mostly crafting related. The only other really the only non-crafting related goal I have is to lose the 10 pounds I managed to gain over the last 3 months since I hurt my foot. So yeah, in the middle region, my clothes are not fitting as well as I would like, and my referee pants, they fit already, and I'm afraid they won't fit if I try to put them on now. So I just need to drop 10 pounds real quick, which won't be hard. I just need to stop eating all the time and stop eating junk food all the time, because I just kind of do that and have no self-control. So I just need to stop doing that and start moving a little bit, and I'll be good. So anyways, nothing huge, just dropping what I gained recently. My crafting goals, though, I did write them down in my little notebook here. As far as knitting goes, my goals are to design and publish the 5 shawls I was just telling you about, to knit all the Fiber Nymph Dyeworks yarn that's in my cubby, and I don't have enough for 2 free skeins. I have enough for 1 and then some others, so I may, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, well, or do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I do. I have enough for 2. Yoo-hoo! Plus a couple extra random skeins. So, yay. All right. Another plan I have for this year is to go to my knitting books, my knitting pattern books, for patterns more, because I bought them for a reason. They have beautiful patterns in them, and yet I just go to Ravelry, which, I mean, I understand that that's what people do, but I I keep keeping them. Like I go through them, I'm like, should I get rid of some of them? And I look through them, I'm like, no, these are pretty, and there are things in there I want to knit. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is going to my bookshelf of knitting pattern books first, and trying to use them. I'm gonna finish my stinking Evenstar. All I have is the edging, which I know is a chunk, but I bought a little tiny crochet hook so I could put all the beads on, and then I just haven't done it. I have the beads, I have the hook, I have the pattern. I don't know why I haven't just picked it up and finished it. So that is on my list of things to accomplish this year. Giving myself a whole year to do some points. I think I can be fine. If I do one a week, I'll have it done. Like, doesn't even have to be a lot. One a week. Anyway, I even have it pulled out. It's, you can barely not see it. It's just right in front of that. That's right there in the bag. All right. Oh, and there's this other shawl that I started 4 years ago, I'm wanting to say. And I'm to essentially the bottom of it. Just stopped working on it. Like, just no reason. Just stopped working on it. And it's a gorgeous shawl. And the yarn, the shawl is gorgeous. The yarn is gorgeous. It's a merino silk blend. I mean, it's beautiful. And it's just sitting in a project bag. So, anyway, my goal is to also finish that shawl. Yeah. I have other things like whips that have been laying around that pretty much in that basket right there are project bags with yarn in it. Either unstarted things that I just have paired together, you know, bag and yarn, and like that bag that's on the top, that's the slippers that I'm going to be making for my retreat. But there's also a couple random pairs of socks that I started, and I will pick them up again. So anyway, I don't know why I picked that in my phone up. As far as spinning goes, I have one goal: finish spinning that fleece. I need to just set aside time to spin, even if it's not every day, like every other day or something, but I have got to spin and finish that stinking fleece. It's pretty, and I want to have it done because I won't put anything else on my wheel until it's done, and so I'd like to have it finished. So that's my goal. And then I have a couple of sewing goals. I bought some polar fleece to make some pants for Eli. He does not like jeans, and he needs some more pants because his jeans have holes in them, and like all but one pair or something. And so I need to make those, and that's more of a shorter term goal than like over the course of the whole year. I need to make those like now. So he has other pants that I picked up for him, like 3 pairs of kind of the workout pants, you know, but they're lined, so they're a little thicker. You know, they have like the zipper on the bottom of the leg and whatever, just, you know, athletic pants. But he wants those. I bought the fabric. It's sitting right there, and like on the edge of the kitchen. So I forgot to write down something here. So anyway, I need to get those done. Secondly, I got that beautiful silk fabric that Marilyn bought for me, and so I really want to make that trumpet skirt, but I need to make a couple of muslins before then, and I have the fabric for one of those muslins. So my goal for that is to make a couple, at least 2 muslins of that skirt, And I also want to make a matching blazer with the final trumpet skirt because, well, because there's enough, and I really like that kind of classic look of a blazer and a matching skirt, and I don't know, I like to have grown-up clothes sometimes. So anyway, what I am going to do is make wearable muslins of the skirts, but for the blazer, I'm just gonna buy some actual muslin fabric and do that. And then also my other goal is to make the final products of those. In general, too, with sewing, I just want to sew more and make it kind of a regular thing and learn more. And, you know, just, yeah, become more comfortable with things and more proficient, and, you know, just learn more. And lastly, this is, you can call it crafting because it's something I'm making, so I'm putting it under here, but I need to make a desk for Jake and Eli. I promised them I would, and they're making do with the kind of the two desks we have next to each other, but Jake's desk, his brother gave it to him because he was getting rid of it, and it's a terrible desk. Like, you can't even roll under it because they have this bottom shelf that is the whole, I mean, it's ridiculous. And then Eli's using my sewing desk. So I'm going to make them one long kind of table desk kind of thing, and yeah, anyway. So that's what we have. I'm really looking forward to, you know, what this year has in store. All around, it's lining up to be a good year. Oh, hold on. There we go. I have the reffing coming up, and then we'll have that in the fall again that we love, and Jake will be able to do, you know, the reffing in the fall, and the retreat is coming up, and these are really good goals, and they're not outrageous, unattainable. So I'm really looking forward to those. And financial goals, if nothing changes, if our budget stays the same and we get no increases whatsoever, my student loans are 16 months out getting paid off. With raises and with extra reffing money, they will get paid off this year as well. So we will be out from under those, which will be fantastic. So anyway, I will keep you updated on all of those things as the year goes on. If you have any crafting goals or just goals in general for the year that you want to share, go ahead and post those in the thread, the Ravelry thread for this episode, and yeah, share those with us so we can all look forward to reaching those together. So anyway, if you ever have any questions or anything like that, shoot me an email, meltrandesigns@gmail.com. Yeah, and until next time, keep knitting. Bye.